are. Where you from? Let's see who all we got on here right now. We're going to be working on an order I got going to Florida. Uh, are we on a commercial? Who all we got on this morning? I gotta get my YouTube here set up so I can see all the comments. All right, we're just gonna start timing. Any questions, comments, anything y'all want to know? Just chime in and let me know. Hooksetter TV, what is up? Glenn, good morning. Chance, good morning. Brad Turner, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. It finally showed up. It finally came back. We got a white head. We're going to do white hackle feathers and a purple hackle feather. Should I do the neck in purple? Should I do the neck in silver? I still ain't made up my mind which one I want yet. Crappie barbecue. What is up? What do y'all think? Good morning, Flyer. How are you today? I'm almost thinking purple. Glenn says purple. Let's do the purple. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. Super Dave, good morning. Welcome aboard. And what this guy wanted when he ordered these jigs is he was looking for, he's fishing in Florida. He's fishing shallow water in Florida, and he likes jigs that are going to be like a grass shrimp kind of thing. And I know the purple, there's no purple in a grass shrimp, but something that's flashy like a grass shrimp. And that's why I was kind of debating on the silver. Starter, thank you, sir, and welcome back to you also.
Will they get smoother in the oven?
Will they get smoother? Yeah, they'll smooth out quite a bit. The oven will take quite a bit out of it. I got my partner down here helping me this morning. She's painting jig heads, trying to get everything ready so I can get my store set up. I'm going to start out with about 10 different colored jigs on my store, and we'll kind of see how it goes from that. But I'm a little ways from getting it hooked up, so we'll see how this adventure is going to work. Put some flash in it too. I keep all my flash down here on the table. Not many people see how I set all my flash up, but the flash, when you get it, it comes in with all those zip ties on it. Well, I drilled like 100 holes across the bottom of my table, and I just slide that zip tie in. One of these days, we'll do a video on my setup and how it all looks once I get it all cleaned up and I ain't embarrassed of it. Steve, good morning. Where you from in Iowa, Steve? I lived up there for a while. I lived up there for 10 years. Eddyville, Tumwa area. I actually lived in Eddyville and worked in Ottumwa. I lived in Eddyville and worked in Pella, and lived in Eddyville and ended up working in Ottumwa. I don't miss that cold weather. Don't miss that cold weather at all. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with 25 and 16th ounce, and we're going to go with 25 and 1/32 ounce. I knew the guy being from Florida, he was going to order quite a few small ones. 23 people on. We got 3 likes. Everybody that's on, hit that like button. That like is what triggers YouTube to keep moving my channel up. It helps my algorithm. It helps other people find it. So if you get on and you haven't yet, please, if you don't mind, hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. That'll keep it to where more people can find it, more people look for it. It gives YouTube suggestions on what to keep moving to the top. So the more likes that show up, those thumbs up, when they show up, it helps YouTube push that stuff. East of there, Wapello, starting to get cold now. Hasn't been bad so far. Chris Dorman, good morning. Kevin, good morning from Central Iowa. I always tell people when I lived in Iowa, I did a 10-year tour of duty up there. I wasn't from up there. That cold weather, man, that was rough. That was rough. Hats off to you guys that live up north and like that weather. A lot of times when I do this, I'm going to get y'all's opinion on what y'all think I should tie in, just like using the purple or using the silver. I'm going to use y'all for a lot of kind of like poll on how I should do things or what I should do. So as good as when you were on TikTok. I don't know. It don't make any sense. Is it like totally cutting out or something? Because I'm kind of watching it. I'm watching it on TV right here, trying to monitor all that. Better late than never. And the boat, hands down, I will never own. I won't personally myself own another bass boat style boat, meaning like a fiberglass bass boat. Not near as sharp. I don't know. I'm not seeing it on my end yet. Not really sure what's causing that. It could be just a little bit of Wi-Fi reception or something like that. But yeah, the new tracker boat, absolutely love that big deep V. Powder painting. If you mess up powder painting, how do you fix it? If you're using the easiest way is the heat gun. The heat gun is very forgiving when it comes to going back and reheating one and dipping it again. Check your settings at your quality. The easiest way to fix a powder paint job that's not quite right is with the heat gun. The heat gun don't have the flame on it and it's not as intense and you won't burn the paint. Sometimes you can heat it back up, get the paint to where it's kind of melty again, and then dip it again. And that should help. If not, sometimes you might have to just move on. You might have to either tie it the way it is or scrap it and start again. But to remelt the paint completely off and start again with another lead head, I've not figured out yet how to do that. I've taken some older jig heads when I first started and didn't have the ability to be able to paint them at the time myself. So I tried some chemicals, try to get the paint off of them and repaint them. It absolutely did not work. Those chemicals that I used to try to clean that old paint off the jig heads kind of seeped back down into the lead and it would not let any kind of paint stick to it. So sometimes you just got to move on. Awesome, good. I'm glad you had that fixed. I was worried I was having a connection problem because I did down here before with YouTube, and I think I probably got all that straightened out. So just y'all let me know if something happens to the quality or if I'm buffering or something like that. But I got my TV on watching it at the same time, so I'm kind of monitoring until I know for sure that it's all going to work right. Trying to find your new UV resin. Is it Lumi UV or Lumalite UV resin? It is Lumalite UV resin. If you look it up on the internet, it should, to make sure you know you got it from the right spot, it's a company in Michigan. That's where it comes from. And it's absolutely very high quality. There you go. That's the man that knows right there. Illuma UV. It is a very, very high quality UV resin. I will stand behind that with that UV resin. Scott, if you got squirrel tails and you need something to do with them, send me a message and I will send you my address. I'm just about out of gray squirrel. Actually, I am. Y'all see me use the gray squirrel yesterday, and I ain't got much left. Sunday, I was going to go try and get some more, and I hope I got time to go do that. But if you want to send me squirrel tails, I'll make a swap with you. I'll send you back some hand-tied squirrel tail jigs and trade you for the tails. Leonard Stevens, good morning, buddy. Do you mind? No, I don't mind if you remove the bone. But the one thing with squirrel tails, and when I first started using squirrel tails, I would skin out. I'd make a cut all the way up the middle, and I'd pull that little piece of cartilage out of the tail, smear some salt in it. The hair kind of started coming off of them. I mean, it really didn't matter. After that, what I did was I would take a little bit of that, where I cut the tail off, and grind that, rub it into salt real tight. And I never had a problem with any of my tails stinking. And not that I've ever noticed. But if you got squirrel tails you want to get rid of, I will send you my address and I'll take them. I got to thinking about it yesterday, and that me tying with those could possibly be illegal. I could be breaking the law when it comes to that.
Really?
Could. It's possible. Because I'm selling an animal I harvested without a fur bearer's license or something like that. And there is that chance that could possibly be illegal, but I ain't saying nothing. Nobody else does. Yeah, but I've left the bone in them, and I've not had a problem with them. Deer tail now, it's a whole totally different story. You definitely want to get that cartilage, that bone out, and you definitely want to spread it open and tan it. Every once in a while, you'll buy a bucktail that isn't tanned quite completely right, and when I open up my drawer that's got all my bucktails in it, you can smell it. No, it don't matter if you've got them and they got the bone out of them. I'll still use them. And like I said, I'll make a trade with you. I'll send you back a couple dozen squirrel tail jigs. If you want to do that, send me a message and let me know, and I'll make sure you got my address and we can give that a shot. But definitely, if you do deer tails, you definitely want that out, because bucktail will stink. There's one in my drawer every time I open it up. My dog, he smells it. He's never tried to dig in there and get it, but it's definitely got a smell to it. One of those bucktails in there. And that's a pretty simple process. If you do your own bucktails, it's just a little bit time consuming is all. I thought about doing it and changed my mind. There at the time, buying bucktails was pretty cheap. Normal, large, I think like large northern bucktail was like $7, and they're up to like 15 now or something like that. Yeah, bucktails take a little bit longer. They take a while to dry out. I mean, it's a full tanning process when you're doing bucktails. Squirrel tails, I just take the tail off and lay them up here on the table. I mean, you see the red squirrel I got. I mean, I've done nothing to it. There's the end of it, and it don't. I don't want to get my nose right up in that, but it don't really have a smell. I have never used the crappie slammer rod. Once I got and I'll promise everybody this: I do not get paid by Outlaw Rods. I don't make any money off of promoting the Outlaw Rods. I've used every brand of rod at one time, most of them. I used the B&Ms, I used the ACC. There was a couple other ones I used in there too. When I met JR, he put one in my hand and he's like, here, give us a try, see what you think about it. He kind of done this little test that he's got set up with his rods. He let me borrow one, take it to the lake. The sensitivity in the Outlaw rod, along with the stiffness of the backbone and the action of the tip, sold me right off the bat. So the Crappie Slammer rods I've never used, so I can't really put a comparison onto the Crappie Slammer rods. If somebody wants me to try the Crappie Slammer rod, I'll give it a try. To me, you know, JR lives pretty close by. He's as local to me as local gets. And if I got a guy who lives 10 miles down the road from me that's selling rods, I'm going to try to keep him in business. He's a good guy. He's got a great product. I've had absolutely no issues with the Outlaw rods. And the sensitivity is my absolute favorites about the Outlaw rods.
This one's ugly.
Leave bucktails split under salt from December. A nice warm summer day when I take from the salt and wash, dry them in natural bucktail. Yeah, that's basically what I've seen on YouTube videos. Is that's how people done them. One guy, I think I watched him. He, cut them open, got the bone out of them, scraped all the fat off of them, pinned them down, rubbed them down with borax, and I think he said I want to say he said 2 or 3 weeks, and then washed them and then dyed them. Yeah, I got to work this afternoon. If you just comment on this video or I'll figure out how to get out of you. Steel Horse Trucking. The Crappie Slammers are made in Buffalo, Missouri from I Am Outdoors. I've never been in I Am Outdoors. I don't usually get on that side of the lake, and I don't really have a lot of reason to go to Buffalo. I knew Crappie Slammers was right there in Buffalo. I didn't know they had their own rod. So, but I've never used one. Maybe sometime here coming up, I can get one in my hand and be able to give y'all a comparison of what I think about them. It's going to be hard to get me to let go of the Outlaw rod, though. I can promise you that, because I like the Outlaw rod.
Dang.
That sense of tip. Well, like I said, Columbia, Missouri, checking in. Chris Dorman. Love watching me tie. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Love all the comments I get every day. Questions and comments, y'all don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Send them to me. I'll usually try to answer any comment or question I get on YouTube. Not saying I don't miss a couple, because some of them show up weird. Like, I'll see the comment and I won't be able to find it again. I don't know if it's because it's somebody who hasn't subscribed. I'm not really, promise you, the greatest at figuring out YouTube and all that stuff, how it all works, and what makes a comment show up and what makes a comment not show up. Are you starting to fish Truman? I'm fishing Truman a lot more the last 2 years than I've ever fished Truman, just basically because of the electronics I got on my boat. Having the GPS mapping system and all that makes fishing Truman Makes you feel a lot more comfortable when you know for sure where the channel at and you're in it. Before it was kind of like a crapshoot. You know what I mean? Truman can be a pretty intimidating lake sometimes, and I was pretty intimidated before I got the new boat with the new electronics and all that. Definitely helped me get on Truman a lot more. Truman was if Truman was 20 minutes closer, I would never fish any other lake. I'd stay on Truman. It's just 20 extra minutes, and actually I was thinking about fishing this weekend, and that's probably where I was going to go, was Truman. I used to say Croy Panfish Legend Elite and the Crappie Slammers are sensitive. I'll have to talk to those guys down here at I Am Outdoors and see about getting one and giving y'all a comparison. Well, like I said, you'll get my honest opinion on it because I'm not paid by them. I'm not sponsored by anybody, which gives me the right. When do your crappie start moving into spawn mode? I'm not sponsored or paid by anybody. And even if I was, I would still give y'all an honest opinion on my thoughts on something. When do our crappies start to move? I'm in Southwest Missouri, and our crappie will start to move. And this is the honest truth. Right now, they're staged up out in the mouth of coves, out on the main lake channel, the channel breaks, the main lake points, getting ready, getting fattened up to be able to make that move. They'll be like that up until February, March. End of March, you'll start seeing them little mills start showing up, getting a little bit shallower than what they had been. By April, May, and a little bit into June is when our full-blown spawn goes on, depending on, how everything's going and all that. But that's also the time of year when the lakes are usually flooding. And but the crappie spawn, my honest opinion on the crappie spawn is that's probably the worst time of year to crappie fish. And the basic reason for that is they're very unpredictable at that time. One day they're there. You go back the next day, they're not spawning in the same spot. When you start getting very subtle cold fronts come in, sunlight, different things like that, it'll move those crappie from spawning to back out, spawning to back out, back and forth. Whoever said to change to 720, thank you. I can see the jigs now, even though at first the ugly mug scared me. It would scare me too, dude. James Dockery, I didn't even see you come in. Even in Northeast Missouri, the crappie are starting to move up. And they're starting to, right now, this time of year is my favorite year to fish. Without a doubt, this is my favorite. This time right now, in the dead middle dog days of summer, July, August, in those really hot days of September, these are my favorite. Those fish will get in schools so big right now that you can sit on a school and limit out. If you're after a limit of fish, all you got to do is find out where that school's at, find out where the shad's at, and the crappie are right there on them. And usually you're going to end up with a mixed bag. It's going to be crappie, it's going to be white bass. They're all going to be in those spots. Some of those pictures I posted last week on my Facebook page and on my TikTok page and all that will show you how big those schools was. On side imaging, I picked up a school of crappie that went for 30 yards out and was just fish. I mean, I was catching them anywhere from 4 foot deep to 25 foot deep. And that school stretched out for, I know, at least a good 30 yards. When no one else is crappie fishing, you're right, James. That's usually the best time to be fishing. Deer season, to me, is when the good crappie fishing starts. When you're hearing those rifles going off in the woods, the crappie have already usually gotten into those big schools, and that's where they're going to stay. They might not be right there in that same spot every day, but they're going to be somewhere pretty close to where you found that school the day before. And if they're out in the middle in a school like that, they're usually feeding. I'm glad I'm back on YouTube too. Actually, I've got a good, I always had a good crowd on YouTube. I kind of got bought into that TikTok thing, and I spent way too much effort on TikTok when I should have just been keeping everything going on YouTube. And we'll start doing, I'm thinking we're going to start, now that they got YouTube to where I can have somebody else join in, we'll start getting other people on the channel also while we're tying. I might do like a Saturday or Sundays where I've got a guest on, and we're either tying or we're just talking about crappie fishing, one of the two. Or deer hunting or wherever. It's hard to say when you start getting multiple people on a chat where the conversations go. If you don't believe me, watch Panfish Nation and Catfish Weekly and Dockery and all those guys. Most of the time they ain't talking about fishing at all. But that's the fun part of doing live videos, doing live feeds, is conversations and where it goes. We'll start getting some of the boat. I got all my GoPro stuff out and got it set back up. Started getting it all charged back up. And the GoPro camera will be able to give me a wide angle lens shot of the back of the boat. The phone was just, you get the outboard and you get like half of my rods that were out. So with the GoPro camera, it'll make it a whole lot wider, and we'll be able to get all my rods in, and I'll show you what I do, what I look for. I think most people that are watching YouTube are pretty decent about watching what you say and all that. I enjoy watching y'all when I get a chance to. I'm at work when y'all are always live. And usually I try to get on and watch. By the time y'all get over introducing everybody that's there, it's time for me to go back to work. My break's over with. Good morning from Australia, mate. I love jigs and tying them. It's 3:26 a.m. and I cannot sleep. Maybe some jig time will help me. It might. I mean, I might bore you to death. You might be asleep in the next 2 or 3 minutes. I will try to bore you to sleep. We'll see what happens.
How about dragonfly? It's so pretty.
Yeah, but we got to do the main colors. Chartreuse, pink, black.
Black?
Black.
Do you have one in a thingy?
There should be one in the thingy somewhere.
This is silver. White.
Don't do silver yet.
X.
You could do white.
I don't want to do white. White's boring.
It's not boring. It depends. The paint job might be boring, but how you tie it is where it makes it.
Paint job is boring.
No, it's not. To make it get over
White?
fast. All you gotta do is 20 of them.
White is boring. And you don't have the black one.
Huh?
What's pearl?
Pearl's pretty cool. You can actually use pearl and call it white. This is what did I just do?
I'll do that.
This one's pearl. This is a new powder paint I got. It's called Pearl. I don't know how good you can see it. It's got some black flake in it, but it's kind of like almost like a silverish white. Glenn wanted to know if we got any more hoodies for sale. That's my
T-shirts.
That's my partner right there. T-shirts is what we got. The hoodies.
Hoodies are way too expensive to ship.
Well, explain it. Explain about the hoodies. Explain the problem we have with hoodies.
The price with hoodies, they're expensive to order. And then, don't show me.
Just tell them. You're fine.
And then, shipping cost, we end up only making like $2. So it's not really worth it.
So then what's all going to be on the store that we'll have?
T-shirts and beanies, pretty much.
T-shirts and beanies. How are they going to order? If they want to order a T-shirt or beanie, how they have to wait for the Etsy store? Can they get a hold of you and order them now?
No. We have to order the T-shirts for the Etsy store.
There you go, from the partner right there. The hoodies, I was excited about the hoodies, being able to get them. And then once I seen the price breakdown and all that and what they had to do, what went into it, It definitely was not worth it. And when you hear other people talk about, man, I'm having a hard time getting hoodies, that's what they're talking about. I didn't realize how much that was going to cost doing the hoodies. So we ended up made one for me, and I made one for Greg Adkins in Mississippi. And then that's when they broke it down and told, kind of broke it down and showed me how much it was going to cost. The T-shirts are going to be a lot more feasible. The beanies, we'll be able to do those. So I apologize that we can't get hoodies. That was kind of crazy. I don't know how anybody can afford to stand there and make those hoodies with the price of everything else that goes with them. And maybe one day when the world goes back to normal and prices are what they should be, that'll be another thing again. And what I'd actually, yeah, Glenn, it was pretty ridiculous on what hoodies were, and we were pricing them or making them. The only way we was going to be able to make them was with the cheapest quality hoodie, worse than, I don't know, it's just a really bad quality hoodie. The pockets would have come, ripped here at the bottom like they always do, and almost as thin as a t-shirt. So that's why we chose not to do the hoodies, and t-shirts, beanies, and things like that is what we'll stick to. 33 people on, and I've only got 18 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that thumbs up. It helps. I promise you, just hitting that like button costs absolutely nothing. It's what YouTube uses to create algorithms and move videos to the top and stuff like that. This order was for 350 Gs. Watching your channel, I've made over 2,500 Gs. Thank you. Great teacher. You need any more to give away on your live? Let me know. Leonard Stevens, if you send them to me, I will make sure people get them, but I will use them for live giveaways. Hit it twice.
Oh, that's pretty.
That like button. It really does help. I promise you it helps. It'll get more people watching. It'll get more people involved, more people showing up, more questions, comments, and the more people we can get watching and the more comments, the more it makes it fun. It makes it very enjoyable to do when you've got a lot of interaction. Eric Pierce. Good morning, Eric. How are you today, bud? I'm headed your way here in a couple hours. Springfield calm this morning? I'd say probably not. It's never really all that calm. I was getting ready to hold those feathers in my mouth while I was too.
Oh, crap.
What'd you do?
No, to do it. I almost brought my hair out.
It's coming out of your check.
Okay.
Eric Pierce has almost been with me ever since when I started doing YouTube. One of the first ones that I think that got on. Which one of y'all? Cox Mercy? And if you pop on and I miss you and don't see you on, just get on and say hi. What would be a better night on the weekend to do a live? Would it be Sundays? Would it be Saturdays? Saturday afternoon? Sunday afternoon? Sometimes on Sunday sometimes on Sunday I'm just beat, wore out. But I'd definitely like to do one in the evening. Anybody got a preference on what day? Mercy over at Hammond's building behind the hospital. I know exactly what you're talking about. Brett Thompson, how do you get t-shirts? You got a website. I got a website coming up. That's what we are working on right now. It won't be a website. It'll be an Etsy store, but I'll have a link to it on my YouTube channel, Facebook page, TikTok page, and all that. Yeah, sometimes when you're watching on TV, I understand that you can't hit that like button. The views help as much as the like button. That's true. I get that. There's a lot of times I'm sitting, getting ready to go to sleep and I'm watching YouTube and something good comes on and I got no way to hit that thumbs up button. But the views definitely show up and they help also at the same time. And we're gonna do probably one more, and I'm gonna call this one done for today. So keep that in mind on Saturdays or Sundays, evening and afternoon. Do it.
Yeah.
What kind of boat you get? I'm on my back. Almost normal. I have a boat and motor to work on. That'll keep you busy. Boat and motor always keep you busy. Sunday, any day, I'll get on. Okay, we'll shoot for Sundays. And it might end up making it to where my live on the weekend will be while I'm on the boat. And just keep shooting me messages on what y'all want to see, and we'll make it happen. Like I said, this week was a test. Just do I still have a followers on here? Does people still going to get on and watch? Keep missing those comments. Are you going to be doing any guide trips? Yes, I will be doing guide trips. I would have done a guide trip this weekend if somebody would have hit me up for one. Or in the same town, maybe I could just pick one up. Yep, you could probably pick one up when we get them made. She's waiting on the shirts, Brett, but when she gets the shirts, I will let you know. And I forgot, you live like right here pretty close around the corner, don't you? Jigtown is a universal language, and we have no crappie bass here in Australia, but your jig designed for crappie work not only for Aussie bass, but many other fish species. That's pretty cool. And yeah, they work for a lot of fish species. I always say I'm making a crappie jig. Usually the guys that are buying them are targeting crappie with them. They'll catch bluegill, walleye, bass, sauger, white bass, hybrids. I've even caught a few catfish on them. 1980 Ebb-Tide Down Track, 160. 16 with 60 horsepower Evinrude. I know what that boat looks like, Eric Pierce. Those are nice boats. Maybe next weekend we can meet up and talk about the trip if that's okay. Absolutely. You name when, or call me, get a hold of me this weekend, and we can get it booked. You let me know when you want to go. Do you want to go this time of year, or do you want to save it for sometime in the spring? Because right now, this time of year, it's good. Do you still have your champion? If so, would it be up for sale? No, I sold the champion. Sold the champion just a month or so after I bought this boat. The kid that bought that boat, that was a good boat. Only downfall to that boat was, and it really wasn't a downfall, it was a 2-stroke Mercury, so it was a little cold-natured in the mornings. The kid that bought it was like in his early 20s. So I had to explain to him the choke and 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. And I think for the first 3 times he started it, I had to go over and help him. He's a pretty good kid. He was a good starter boat. Might be too much of a starter boat, to tell you the truth, because that 200 Mariner would scream. It was a fast boat. Even though I think the fastest I had it up to was 62 or 63. Most of the time I was only driving it at like 40, 45 miles an hour. But it was a pretty cool boat to fish out of. To run guide trips out of, though, it was a little sketchy. I was always freaking out and scared to death that somebody's going to end up falling out of that boat and getting hurt. You almost got to force yourself to fall out of this tracker. Not saying that it can't be done, but there's going to be a little more effort involved in falling out of it.
Yeah, you'd have to jump.
We'll do some videos on it. We'll get that boat up and going. Right now, the best time for me is right now. If you can, get dressed warm, some hand warmers, warm boots, stuff like that. Did you get that fixed from? How's everybody doing? Nick, we're all doing pretty good, bud. How are you? Did you get that fixed from yesterday, your number counter? Nope. Find me a number generator.
Me?
Yep. Like something that'll go through 1 through 100. At least make it up to 1 through 32. At least. And I'm going to pick a winner. We're going to give away these 164th.
Or 100?
Well, up to 30. Let's go up to 32. We got 32 people watching. I'm going to start having everybody yell out some numbers as soon as I know how far it's going to go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to give away. How many do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 orange and black, 1/64 ounce little hand-tied jigs. I'm going to give them all away. Everybody pick a number between 1 and, let's go, 1 and 35. The closest without going over, I will send those jigs. I'll just need an address and all that stuff. So, good deal. He's on lunch break. Everybody give me a number. 13, 27, 17, 24. Panfish Nation. Wow, I didn't even know you were here. 26, 18. But we're going to have to move it a little bit. We're going to have to go, up to 36. So once I know I got everybody in, 29.
Did you say 36?
Yeah, because there's 35 people watching. Or I guess we can still go 135. Those guys at Panfish Nation and Catfish and Crappie, y'all are all professional about all this. I had it all good at one time, and now I got to get all this back up and going. So once I know we got everybody in, or as many in as we can, we're going to do that. We'll do it at 10:45. 10:43. So you got 2 more minutes to get that in. Lau, how you been? I was thinking about you the other day. I hadn't heard from you in a long time. Busy? That's either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you're looking at it or what you're busy doing. I've been kind of the same way here on this side, too. Lau, you need to get a hold of me and go catch some crappie here sometime pretty soon. We got 37.
We have 37.
36. I'm not submitting a number. I don't fish. Just like watching you. Well, that's pretty cool, Flyer. 1 more minute.
How many people do you watching?
I have 37 people watching. 28 and 26 was taken.
Okay. Here, I'll show you this while we're waiting. All you'll have to hit spin.
And that's all the numbers that are on there. Makes it a little bit easier.
Yep. I put it up to 37 since there's 37 people.
So we got the Wheel of Fortune. on here this morning. It is 10:45. Have everybody got everybody got their picks in? Yes, I forgot to mention that. If you are in the Warsaw area, my jigs are at Cody's Bait and Tackle in Warsaw. So when you go into Warsaw and you're looking for my jigs, if he don't have what you're looking for or anything that makes you happy, tell him what you want, and I will make sure I get what you're looking for at his shop. As of right now, Cody's is the only one that has my jigs. Bolivar Landing and Storage, they will have them here pretty soon. And I thought I'd get some there this week, but it probably won't. It might be the next week or two before I get them there. Okay, we're going to do the drawing. We're going to spin it. Y'all are going to see it, and I'm going to watch it at the same time you are watching on TV. Oh, I hear it all clicky and stuff. Number 24. Who was 24? Who was the closest without going over? Hold on. Let me see who we had. I'm going to scroll down through this. Brett Thompson, number 24, dead on it. Brett Thompson, you got him, buddy. Brett, when we get off here, send me a message, and I will either just drop them off to you, or we'll meet somewhere, and I'll make sure you get them. I'm pretty sure you follow me. You're on my Facebook page, so I'll get a hold of you on Facebook and figure out what we can do. Winter. Hopefully, he's going to make a crappie dinner with them. And for that, I'm going to get off here. That's 47 minutes. I got to start getting ready to go to work. Thank all you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on and this is the first time you've ever watched, thank you for showing up. And look forward to being back on again this weekend. Probably be Sunday, I'm thinking. But we'll get a little better regular schedule going. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time.